Hey PursueGOD production team. In this video we're going to talk about how to create slides for a PursueGOD video. So before we get into that, I want to talk a little bit about file management. So this is something you want to do before you start your video. So right here I've got two folders that I've created, and in one I have my video resources, and I put everything that I'm going to use for all the videos I work on for PursueGOD. So the things that are constant in all of our videos I'm going to put here. And then I have a specific folder that I created just for the things I'm going to use in this video. So in this case, right now all I have is the stock footage, or the raw footage for this video, and then we're going to add some things in this video as we go. So I've got those two files. I've got these two folders. I've got my video resources folder for everything that in all the videos, and then I have a folder specific to this video. Okay, so now that we got that out of the way, let's get into Photoshop. So I'm going to open up Photoshop here. This is Photoshop Elements 14. And then I'm going to make sure I have the Expert tab selected. And this just makes sure that your screen looks like my screen. So I'm going to go to File, Open, and then I'm going to navigate to my video resources folder, and then I'm going to click on PursueGOD Slides Templates, or template. So this is the template I'm going to use to create all my slides for all my videos. Okay, so now that I've got that open, what I'm going to do is I'm going to save a specific file for this video. So I'm going to go to File, Save As, and then I'm going to go to my video specific folder, and I'm going to name this the title of the video. So I'm just going to call it 3 Things for short. And then I'm going to save that. So this just ensures that the template, every time I open it, it's always the same template, and that I haven't saved over it with other things. I haven't messed with it. So that way you can always follow the same step-by-step instructions, and when something doesn't look the same as this video here, you'll know why. You'll know that you probably accidentally saved something over it. So now that we've got this, what we're going to do is we're going to go to our outline, and outlines could look very different from this, just depending on who makes the video. But one thing that you can always be sure is that your points and your verses, so everything that goes on screen, is going to be bolded. So there might be some outlines here. They might have other stuff in between, and if it's not bolded, it doesn't go on screen. So if it's bolded, it goes on screen. So what we're going to do is we're going to select our title, and I'm going to copy that over, Control C. I'm going to select my title here, and then I'm going to paste it in. And to make things easier, I'm going to go split screen here. Okay, then I'm going to select my first point, copy it. I want to make sure that I'm highlighting exactly what I want to replace. If I highlight any more or any less, I might mess up the formatting, and I don't want to do that. So I'm just going to paste that over with Control V. Then I'm going to select the next one and do the same thing, just copying and pasting it over. Okay, so for this particular video, we've only got these 3 points, but almost all your other videos are going to have some Bible verses in them. So what we're going to do is we're going to hide our talking point layer, and then we're going to make visible our Bible verse layer. And we just do this by selecting these little eyeballs here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this here. I'm going to copy it, and then I'm going to double click into this box and then highlight again exactly what I want to replace, and then this is John 3:16. I'll just type this out. Okay, and unless specified otherwise, like this here says NIV. It's actually not the NIV version. This is the NLT version. But unless it's specified like this, we're always going to assume that it's the NLT version. That's our default version. So this will always say NLT here unless specified otherwise. So then we're going to click a little check mark here, and then this is how we would create a Bible verse slide. But again, this video doesn't happen to have that. So let's go back to our talking point, and then I'm going to show you one more thing you might run into. So I've made this point, I've taken our first point and I made it really long. So I'm going to copy that, and so you might run into a fourth point. So we're going to hit enter, and we're going to tab over 3 times, put a 4, period, and 1 space. Then I'm going to paste it over. Okay, so you'll notice that it breaks our formatting a little bit. We want a nice clean line right down the middle here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select, I'm going to put my cursor right before that, and then I'm just going to keep hitting tab till it lines up. And if it doesn't line up perfectly, you might have to hit backspace and then put a space in there. And then we're going to go over, do it again, keep hitting tab, and it doesn't look quite right. There we go. So now, let's make this larger. Now we've got our formatting as it should be. But we're not going to have a fourth point in this video, so I'll get rid of that. Alrighty, so now that we've got our full outline completed, now what we're going to do is we're going to work backwards. And what I mean by that is as the video plays, we're going to have our first slide is going to have the title, and then it's going to have this first line here, this first point, communicate a clear and compelling vision. So with that, we don't need these, but it's much easier to create the template or the full outline and then work backwards from there. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to File, we're going to Save for Web, and then we're going to make sure we're on PNG 24, and I'm going to hit Save. So I'm going to save this to my specific folder that I have for this video, and then in this one it just so happens that our third point is our third slide. But in most videos we're going to have a mixture of point and then verse and then point and then verse, or any mixture of those. And so our titling convention that we use is we're just going to name this based on the number that it occurs in the video. So this might be our 5th slide or our 6th slide, depending on how many points and verses we have. But in this one in particular, it just happens to be the 3rd point. So I'm going to name this 03 and then save. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to double click back into here. I'm going to delete it. I'm going to delete that last line. I'm going to double click out, and then I'm going to save it again for web. I'm going to save, and this one's 02. And then once again save 01. And that's it. That's all you need to know for creating your slides for PursueGOD video. So we've got all of our slides necessary for the video saved in our folder specific to this video. And then once we've got this completed, we're ready to go. We are ready to start our video editing process. So check out our next video, how to edit a PursueGOD video.